please feel free to avail yourself of the food. During the speeches, if you'd like some more, if you get hungry, we'll leave that out. Again, it is available for you. If you do not get any dessert, there's a lot of yummy treats over there, so make sure to help yourself to that as well. Bathrooms across the way if you need those at any time. Again, there's plenty of water and drinks and those kind of things too. At this point, we are going to get our senior speeches going. As mentioned, we do have 13 tonight, and in the interest of giving the boys plenty of time to say what's on their heart and address their teammates and families and all that kind of stuff, we want to provide them with that opportunity to do that where they're not feeling rushed and everything. As mentioned, we do have 13 guys that we are honoring tonight. These guys are involved in a lot of things beyond just running. Obviously, cross country and for many of them, track is also a big part of what they do. But that does not just make up their entire identity. We've got a lot of guys here that are involved out of the school setting in work. Many of them have or had jobs or multiple different jobs. Many of them are involved in different extracurriculars here at the school, whether that's band or music in some kind of way. Lots of them are parts of different clubs here. Many of them are active in their church communities or in their local communities doing different things like that. Many of them have done a lot of different volunteer type activities as well. So a lot of them, many of them, all of them are really good academically. All right, so again, I think what you can see, we have a really well-rounded group of young men tonight that have learned time management, how to hopefully take the lessons that they're learning here with us, in the sports world, and then hopefully be able to apply that to other avenues. All right, so going to turn over to the boys here. They have a order that they already have predetermined that they were going to go through their speeches, and so when one is done, we're going to invite their families, whoever's with them, to walk over. Right? Are we doing? Where are we at? Are we doing pictures? Tracy, help me out. We're doing pictures over there.
Pictures, yeah.
Okay. So.
If they want to wait until at the end, so that everybody has, do family pictures after.
Okay. So, or if you want to wait till afterwards, I know sometimes in the past they've walked over, gotten a flower, and then a picture.
I'll do that, and then we can do group pictures.
Group pictures at the end. Okay. So. Is there anything, Tracy, where are you at? Is there anything I'm forgetting? Is that everything we need to know for right now?
You're doing great.
We good? We're good. All right. Well, again, at this point, you guys have come to see them, listen to them share their words of wisdom. So, again, enough from me. And our first speaker today is Mason. So we're going to let him give his speech now.
All right. Every day during middle school, I would look forward to going to cross-country practice. There was always something crazy going on. One day in 6th grade, I remember Thomas and a random 8th grader were messing around, and Thomas got 5-starred right on the back, and everyone heard it, and Mr. Kren sent them both on the track to run laps. Just memories like that are what cross-country is all about. To this day, I have the same mindset. Every day I just try to make it to cross-country practice. It's really the best part of my day. We all have something that we look forward to every day, whether it's coming home after a long day of work or seeing your family. For me, it's running. A lot of people say they hate running, but running might be one of my favorite things to do. Cross-country has not only been something I love, but it has taught me how to be successful. Lessons of consistency, friendship, and perspective are all things that cross-country has taught me and that I will be talking about today. Consistency is a key skill that will lead you to success. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you are consistent, you're destined to improve. The man I think of when I think of consistency is Coach K. My freshman year, I was so terrified of this man. I mean, this guy must be insane or something. He's like the Valpo David Goggins, running every single day for hours on hours. Thank you, Coach K, for showing me how to be consistent and endure the pain. One Valpo alum that also shows consistency is Nathan Nova. No matter what happened at the previous meet, he was always there at practice the next day, ready to work. There's one summer long run going into my sophomore year that I'll never forget. It was one of the hardest runs probably ever in my life. There were numerous points where I thought I was done. I didn't have enough in the tank. I couldn't make it the full way. But Nova stayed on me, even when he was hurting as much as I was, and continued to keep me going. Another alum, Brady, is also a great example of consistency. If you look at his progression, you would find that he went from running a 2014 5K his freshman year to a 1641 at DAC his senior year. That improvement came from consistency, and he was just a really hard worker. If you know Brady, you would know that he barely missed practice. Thank you to both Nova and Brady for teaching me how important it is to be consistent, both incredible examples of friends as well. That is really what matters at the end of the day, friends. The best part about this past Saturday was not winning the race. It was not getting a new PR. It was about an hour after I got home when some of the guys asked if we wanted to go to the high school and just play some soccer. Hanging out with the guys after a crazy meet when our legs were exhausted, sprinting all over the softball field was the best part of that day. When we go out to breakfast after a morning run, or during the summer, or a day that we don't have to go to school is the best part of that day every time. There's really nothing better than sharing laughs with your friends. When you're doing another interrupted tempo on the Y loop, look around and notice how your best friends are right there with you every step of the way. They are hurting just as much as you are, but you got to realize that when you're hurting, you're going to get through it. And there's no better way to do that than with the buddies beside you. Moments like these with my best friends is something that I always look forward to. Now a little on racing. Racing has a lot to do with perspective. For me, no matter how well I do, I will always compare myself to the people around me. There has never been a race that I was satisfied with. There's no fair comparison you can make about your race, and you got to remember that. With perspective is your mindset. How are you mentally before your race? Always try your best to look at the glass half full. If you go into a race with a mindset you aren't ready or haven't recovered fully, you're doing it wrong. There was a COVID run going into my 8th grade year that was absolutely awful. It was a run at Liberty Bible Church, and my tiny little legs were not ready for Greeks. On the run back to the parking lot, I was with alums Quan Lee and Owen Leshenik. I never wanted to quit a run so bad before. The whole way, I was planning on how I was going to roll my ankle on the side of the road so that my mom could come pick me up. But that day, my perspective on running changed, thanks to Owen and Quan. Training is a privilege. You just got to take it day by day. You can't think about the runs as how much longer do I have to run, rather how much longer do I get to run. Once you get your mind right, the rest comes easy. Now, if it wasn't for AC, I don't think that I would be here. AC has taught me so much without me realizing it, pushing everyone every day, driving us closer and closer to the sport that everyone loves. Every time I look for him on the course, he gives me another gear, making my legs numb by the time I cross the finish line. Thank you, AC. Also, thank you to Coach KG and Coach D for being there with us every step of the way with any injury problems that we might come across. With all these lessons comes the success that I have found in my last season of cross country. Hopefully, I've been able to mentor and show example of consistency, friendship, and finding perspective during these years with all you guys. Thank you, parents, for consistently showing us support and love through our final steps of this journey. I choose this family every single time. And I have a junior power. This junior power is going to one of the hardest working kids on this team, who I believe shows consistency, hard work, and holds many deep friendships on this team. He is the last one done during pretty much all of our post-run drills, making sure he completes each drill with precision and efficiency. My junior power goes to Owen Thomas.
Good speech.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Aiden McAlpine. This is my second year running cross country here at Valpo High School. Before we even moved to Valpo, my stepbrother Carlos ran for AC in the Valpo cross team at the time. I really didn't like cross country because of all the traveling we had to do. Now looking back at it, it wasn't that bad. It was so fun getting to run around the course and cheer Valpo on. Since Valpo Cross has been a part of my life now for almost 10 years, and I'm so happy and grateful to get to run for this team. I ran cross country all through middle school, and my first 2 years of high school, I played soccer. I switched to cross country halfway through the summer last year, and it was the best decision I've made. I had known most of the guys on the team from cross at TJ, but the ones I didn't know, I quickly became good friends with them as well. I love this team and wouldn't wish for any other people to call my teammates and coaches. Thank you to AC and Coach D for everything you do for us. Every day welcoming us individually as we walk into the locker room tells us they care about us. Every run, AC wouldn't just be there to watch us, but to be a part of the team and learn more about us. Practices were also the highlight of my day after a long day at school and were so much fun. The meets were even better, getting to chase down goals you had and cheering on the rest of your team. This team wouldn't be possible without the coaches, obviously, and the parents. To all the parents, thank you for everything, from cheering us on and supporting us to snacks and chocolate milk throughout the week. Thank you for this amazing night to celebrate us seniors. Thank you to my mom, dad, and stepdad for all the great advice and for always supporting me and being there for me. One last thing for all of the younger guys is to stay consistent and you will get better.
Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Kuzbelt. I can't get it. There we go. This better? Hello everyone, my name is Jacob Kuzbelt and this is my 4th year of running at cross country. It's weird to think that these 4 years have gone by so fast. It almost sucks that cross country is ending so soon. And I'm glad I kept on running cross country for all the great memories I got from it. To me, cross wasn't just about the competitive aspect of it, but what I really enjoyed about it is that I got to bond with so many people on the team at every practice and every race that we ran. And the fact is, with me only knowing a few people on the team when I just started running was challenging, as it wasn't that enjoyable at the time, but I kept on running and I got to know so many more teammates. As well as cross being a hard sport for me, as I was not that great at running, but as I kept on running, on those early morning practices and those 4 o'clock morning rides down to Indy and racing amongst some of the best competition there was. As that would make me a better runner as time went on. I don't think I would have been able to get through all that if it weren't for my team and the coaches, as I should thank AC for giving us some of the best inspirational speeches before and after the races, giving us hope that we can do better the next time we run. I would also like to thank all the parents for bringing us water, food, and setting up the tent and whatever else they did. I'd also like to thank my parents for being at almost every single meet, except for my dad going to Popcorn Fest on some of the meets. But when they were there, they always gave me hope that I could catch the next guy in front of me when I was running. But now, to end things off, I just want to say I'm happy I stuck with running, as now I have friends for life. Thank you.
Nah, you're good, bro. Hi, I'm Christian Peters, but you probably know me as Pickle Boy. Everyone always wants to know, how did you get that nickname? Well, it was freshman year at camp, and the boys were loading up their plates to the brim with burgers and dogs. As I was preparing my hot dog, a few seniors noticed that I had put a pickle spear on it. Now, in Chicago, that's totally normal, but these guys thought this was far out. And somewhere along the line, I mentioned that I make pickles, and the nickname stuck. I'd been given a name, but I didn't know what my place was on the team. I just heard that they were good, and I knew I could run, so I ran. It hasn't really felt like I've ran all these years, though. Whether it's heated debates about international affairs or just clowning around, the miles pass at rapid speeds. Somehow this team makes running fun. It's ironic to think that being out of breath, cramping, needing to go to the bathroom, and having sore legs could be fun. Just another reason to always come to practice. You never know what you could be missing out on by missing a few miles. Staying consistent is the number one way to get better. If you have the drive to get better, the memories will make themselves. There was a time that the team was out on the golf course, and we had split up into different groups. As my crew was circling back, we heard noises from a ditch to our left. As we peered down over the edge, 20 feet down, there was 5 dudes in a shopping cart. Needless to say, we pushed that thing all the way up the ditch, going through thorns, brush, and slippery mud. Finally reaching the top, we embarked across the green. Working like a well-oiled machine, 4 men carried at a time and took shifts. You see, the wheels no longer worked, and we were going over grass. As we rounded our way across the field house, we checked the perimeter for adults to make sure no one would question us about bringing in a shopping cart. Seeing the coast was clear, we brought it into the locker room, and we placed it in the shower room. We had no clue what to do with it, but it was hype. Anyways, the purpose didn't matter. We had achieved our goal, and now is our shopping cart. I've always looked back and wondered what would have happened if we hadn't heard the hullabaloo coming from the ditch, or if the group who stumbled across the cart decided it was just too difficult to retrieve. I hadn't realized it until just recently, but I don't think it could have happened any other way. We're built to get it done. That's the only thing that's certain. When we see a challenge, thinking twice isn't our nature. So run those miles, be consistent, and listen to AC, Coach D, and KG, because success will follow. When I've been through the mud, you guys have been with me. When I've had the time of my life, you were at my side. And as I went from being a boy to becoming a young man, my journey was accompanied with you all. I love all of you guys. You're my brothers. Thank you, and God bless.
Good evening, everyone. I am Drew Stralnick. I've been running with Valpo Cross for 4 years now. So, I started cross country first, though, when I was in 6th grade, and I did not like it at all. I only really did it because my big brother David did it, and I realized that I was just not cut out for it. So, I did not think that I was going to be the guy to be up here doing some speech, which I don't even like doing speeches, so that's another thing. So, yeah. The main reason why I did cross country was because freshman year, everyone, I lost my place. The reason I did it my freshman year is because everyone and their mothers, aunts, cousins, nephews, grandfathers, dog, and my family said, Drew, you should run your freshman year. It will be so great. So eventually they convinced me, and I joined to see what all the fuss was about. And to my surprise, I did see what all the fuss was about. I still don't like running very much, but here I am 4 years later. The reason I stayed wasn't the running, obviously. It was instead the team. Because freshman year I came here, and I had no friends on the team, and I didn't know anyone aside from a few names. But over the years, they've gone from teammates to friends, and from friends to brothers. And I don't think I'd be the same person if I didn't have them in my life. It was moments like on the practices, or during the summer, or at camp, that made them who they are to me, and made this team what it is. I'm going to miss a lot of things about this. There are also going to be things I don't miss about it, like early mornings or those stinking indie meets, like holy cow. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to miss about this. I'd like to thank the coaches, AC, Coach D, and KG, who have made me strong and much faster than I ever thought I could do over these years. I think my first 5K I had like 25 minutes, and I'm almost 10 minutes faster than that. So if you keep working and you keep trying, eventually you can get to the top, even if you start at the very bottom. I always liked coming to the locker room with Coach D, seeing you going, "What up, what up?" or AC, seeing you saying good morning no matter what time of day it was. And of course, KG always coming in clutch with his anti-cramp cream. I don't know what I'd do without that. But I think, and certainly one of the best things that you can do for this is to stay consistent. Because if you're not showing up every day and putting in as much work as you can, you're not going to be at your best. And not even the coaches can help you get to where you could be if you're not consistent. I'd also like to thank the parents for bringing all the chocolate milk and all the snacks and all the water and those towels. Who would have thought those towels would be so nice? And most of all, I'd like to thank my team, because I wouldn't be the same without you guys. And yeah, this definitely has been one of the best parts of school. Thank you.
Talking to it? Is it working?
It is working.
All right.
We have to talk kind of close to
Close to it? All right, cool. All right. Really close? All right. That's the battery case. All right. Up close? Is that good? That's good? All right. Yo, what's up? I'm Chase Henry. I've been running cross country for 3 years. Not 4 years. Not high prestige like the rest of those guys. Nah, I'm just slow. I think I did all right. Summer of freshman year, I remember my dad telling me I should join the cross team. But heard they ran every day, and I was like, nah. Did a lot of sitting around that summer. Not much. I will say I do regret it. Next year came around. I thought, yeah, I'll join. Everyone in my grade was faster than me, but I thought that I could catch up. Just every day at practice, we practice enough and hard enough that if you're just training a fraction harder than everyone else every day, you can be faster than everyone else. Last 2 years, I've been just short of running sub 18 at DAC. Hopefully this year I'll manage to break that. Kind of been just looping around it for 3 years now. This year, during the summer, 4 weeks out, I broke my toe skateboarding. I remember breaking it. It didn't hurt. But I looked down and I knew that I had lost 4 weeks of running during the summer. And that hurt 100% more. I had thrown out all the progress I had made from pushing through track in the hopes of having an amazing season this time around. The doctor told me I'd have to wait until late August to start running. 4 weeks in, I knew that if I waited any longer, I'd lose more than I could gain back. I showed up first Friday, managed to do all right this season without missed so much time during that injury. I gotta say, don't listen to your doctors. They know nothing. No, I still have pain in my toe. It's not good. Cross country is an amazing sport. In competition, every little bit you try translates to a better performance. Unlike something like soccer or baseball where skill is a large proportion of your effort, You could simply focus on just trying hard. The harder you try, the faster you run. That's what makes cross unique. When you push yourself more and more and more, you run faster. There's nothing worse than finishing a cross race and not being in immediate mind-blanking pain. If you have something left, you're doing something wrong. Those races are a way to prove yourself, to say that you all are that you are worth the time, that you could push yourself infinitely harder than the next guy. This might be a little weird, but I think there's something spiritual about a cross race. Choosing to push beyond and leave every drop on the course feels like it fulfills the demands of the little man looking through the glass. Afterwards, to see the rest of your team do the same, it's something special. See that same experience in every other person running behind you. This team is a gift. From a great coach who facilitates the growth of his runners to a group of guys who all just want to do better. It's something special. You're lying if you say it's not. I'm trying to find my place. I'll probably remember my time on this team as long as I live. This is time well spent. I'd probably be a different person, weaker in a mental sense, if I hadn't run cross country. I'd like to thank everyone on the team. It was fun being a part. Thank you, AC. Couldn't ask for a better coach. Without your training, most of us would be probably lost and not knowing what we're doing. Thank you, Coach D, for making sure we aren't injuring ourselves. I haven't managed to injure myself too much, so thank you. Thank you, KG, for all those strange creams and sports tape before the races. Helped a ton. Thank you. And just the more support, more the merrier. And yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Good evening, cross-country family. Thank you for being here tonight, and thank you to everyone who made tonight possible. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Owen Herron, and I had absolutely no intention of becoming a distance runner. The summer before my freshman year, I ran a 5K with a friend for fun and decided right then and there that I could mark cross-country off the list of potential sports for me. Fast forward to the spring of my freshman year, and I decided to go out for the track team. I had no clue what events I wanted to do. Coach Hefner took one look at me and presented me with two suggestions: become a hurdler or join the distance crew. Knowing dang well that I did not want to do hurdles, the next day there I was beginning my training with the distance team. How hard can it be? I just need to keep up with the group and not slow down, right? Boy, was I wrong. On only the second day of practice, the team was doing a workout and I managed to get lost during the warm-up. Feeling disappointed and embarrassed, I didn't plan on coming back the next day. That is until I found the team. Rather than them laughing or making fun of the fact that I had fallen behind, they all cheered for me and encouraged me to keep running, telling me stories about how they themselves had been in similar situations when they first started. After this, I had made my decision. If all the other guys could do it, then so could I. And now, around 3.5 years later, with a lot of hard work, grit, and determination, I can confidently say that I did it. I became a distance runner. While maybe not every mile was exactly a pleasant one, they ultimately led me to where I am today, right up here giving my senior speech. I want to thank AC, Coach D, and Coach KG for all the hard work that they put into this program. The meticulous preparation behind every workout and meet certainly did not go unnoticed. I owe everyone on this team a thank you for pushing me through difficult days and helping me to stay focused on my goals. Whenever I felt nervous for a race or workout, it always brought me comfort knowing that we were all in it together. I owe my biggest thank you to my mom for giving me so much of her love and support every day. If I ever need something, I can always count on her to drop anything that she is doing and to come help me with whatever challenge I may be facing. Alongside my mom, I would like to thank my dad, my little sister Ruby, and my grandma for being my biggest cheerleaders. Finally, I owe a special thank you to my grandpa, who sadly cannot be here tonight. Being a runner and multiple-time marathon completionist, he was my biggest inspiration. It didn't matter what time or place I finished the race in, he was always so proud. I dedicate each and every one of my races to him, and I will continue to run for the both of us. Thank you, Valparaiso Cross Country, for all the memories.
speech by thanking my family. Without your support, I wouldn't have been able to succeed as much as I have. Thank you to my mom, who has pushed me to be better in every way and provide plenty of snacks throughout the process. To my dad, who has helped me to be the best runner that I can be, been there every turn of the course to cheer me on, and to the rest of my family, who have been there with me to celebrate my success and support me through my losses. I love you all very much. I would also like to thank my coaches. AC with the workout plans every week, Coach D with the post run that helped keep us healthy, and Coach K with talking me through the mental strength. I would also like to thank KG for giving up his time to help me catch up with the group. Without their support, this would have been impossible. And a big thanks to my teammates for pushing me through the tough times and dragging me along through multiple PRs. There are so many good times that I have experienced in just these short 4 years. I would say that my biggest piece of advice I could give to a lowerclassman would be to trust the process and be consistent. All it takes is 2 weeks of showing up to early morning practices, and from that point on it becomes a routine. Although it seems simple, it took me 2 years to realize that, and I regret not doing it earlier. By showing up to the extra stuff, whether it be workouts or just hanging out and bonding with the team, you start to become closer with everyone. One of my biggest regrets was not showing up to practices and hangouts, because I missed out on valuable time with my teammates. Looking back on the 4 years I had spent on this team, there was a junior that I had known from middle school that I never really talked to. When he started to show up to cross practices, it took me a second to realize who it was. I'm glad that I started up a conversation with him, because he is probably one of the funniest people I know, and he is a dedicated teammate and a hard worker. I think if anyone should have this shirt, it should be Kanan Bartley. Thank you all so much. I'm so glad to have been a member of this team. I don't know. I thought there was a camera.
I want to start this speech.
Put the shirt on. Put the shirt on.
First, I want to thank you all for being here tonight. It means a lot to me. I'd like to start by thanking AC, Coach D, Coach K, Nova, and KG. Being the best coaching staff I could ask for. Through every up and down, you've stood by my side, pushed me to be better, and believing in me. To my teammates, thank you for keeping me motivated. I especially want to recognize the JV runners. You all inspire me more than you all know. It's easy to find excuses not to run, but those of you who show up every day have a special kind of dedication. Your positive attitudes and consistency have helped me to become the better runner that I am. I also want to give a huge thank you to my family. There hasn't been a meet where you guys haven't shown up, whether it's waking up at 4 a.m. or driving hours just to see me. You guys always make it happen. Your support has meant the world to me, and I am truly blessed to have you by my side. I'd like to share a little bit about my running journey and how I began. So in 6th grade, I joined cross country, not really thinking much of it. My main goal was to get in shape for basketball. I wasn't the best runner at the time, but I kept coming back because it was fun, and I liked all my friends and coaches at every practice that made it enjoyable. As I went into 7th grade, I started to run a little more on my own. Not a lot, but it was enough to feel a little bit of an improvement. That year, I fell in love with the sport. I realized that if I ran every day and stayed consistent, I would get better. That lesson has stuck with me ever since. Running quickly became a big part of who I am. It wasn't long before everyone knew me as a runner, and that identity has kept me disciplined. Now fast forward 7 years, and I still love the sport as much as ever. I've run all 4 years of high school, and I've been lucky enough to be a part of some fun teams. But I have to say, this year has been my favorite. This team is special. We've got a lot of guys at all levels with so much talent, but beyond that, we have a variety of personalities on the team that make practice every day fun. What I'll miss the most isn't just the running, it's the moments we shared outside of practice. I miss holding hands and praying before all of our meals. I'll miss putting our phones in the middle of a table when we were out to eat so we don't get distracted. And I'll miss waking up to countless messages from our group chat. These are memories that are going to carry with me long after my running days are over. There's not a single thing I won't miss about this team. For the past 4 years, this group has been my family. Saying goodbye will be the hardest part about graduating. No team will ever compare to what we've been building together, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. To conclude, last year I received a junior power, and I want to hand it down to someone who truly deserves it. This teammate has been by my side for the last 3 years. He's one of the most consistent, hardworking athletes that I know. It's going to be tough not calling you my teammate next year. I'm going to give mine to my locker neighbor, Desmond Calhoun.
Good evening, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Trent Holdley, and I have the honor of standing in front of you all tonight as a proud four-year member of our cross-country team. It is hard to believe that after 3 years of hearing these speeches, I'm finally giving my own. First, I want to take this opportunity to thank our outstanding coaches, AC and Coach D, and sometimes Nova. The support you have given me and my teammates for 4 years has had more of a significant impact on us than I can even begin to describe. Thank you for pushing me past what I thought my limits were and teaching us the importance of resilience, while also making each practice as fun as possible and creating an environment where we can all grow together. Special shout out to KG for always ensuring we are always prepared with all the cramp cream and tape we could ever need before our races. I would also like to thank my mom and uncle for always supporting me at my races and bringing us chocolate milk. And a special thanks to my mom for getting up at 6:30 every day during the summer for 2 years to take me to practice. You're the real MVP. One of the parts of cross country that I will miss the most is simply talking on the runs. These conversations have always been meaningful to me, even when I was just listening to people argue about everything the whole time, especially about Purdue and IU basketball. Practice is so much more than just running for me, and I've always looked forward to it during the year, and it has made my school days so much more enjoyable, even if I had to get up an hour earlier to get donuts. Cross country has taught me so much beyond just how to run. Every mile brought with it a new lesson on the importance of goal setting, perseverance, hard work, finding joy in the process, but most importantly, consistency. I have learned that the surefire way to achieve anything you want in life is simply to go at it with everything you have every day. My time in cross country has been a significant factor in my personal growth throughout high school, and the lessons I have learned from running will stick with me throughout my lifetime, long after I hang up my spikes. All things considered, there's no other group of guys that I would rather call my family, and I have met some of my best friends from this team. I urge all of the underclassmen to not take any moment for granted. As we look toward the future, I encourage my fellow seniors to carry these lessons with them as well. Whether you plan on running in college or never even running again, I hope we can all look back on our time together, cherish the memories, and remember the camaraderie we built as a team. Use the lessons you have learned on the course and trails to push through the challenges ahead. Thank you to Velpo Cross Country for everything you have taught me. And then last year I was given a junior power, and I'd like to pass that down to a great guy that I know and someone who I've gotten a lot closer to this year, Asher Collins.
Is this thing on? Okay. My name is Grayson Forrest, and standing up here reading a senior speech is a hard thing to wrap my head around. It doesn't feel like that long ago that I would have been sitting in the back of this room when I watched the seniors my freshman year give theirs. I don't have to think about it for a while, but nonetheless, oh, wow, sorry. 3 more years give theirs, and remember thinking to myself, 3 more years is such a long time. I don't have to think about it for a while, but then nonetheless, I stand up here today. As AC always says after the final speech, underclassmen, it's never too early to start thinking about your speeches, or something along those lines. And I hate to say it, but he's so right. 4 years sounds like a long time, but one day those 4 years will have flown by and felt like yesterday. Not to scare anyone, but it's so hard to sit down and figure out how to write a whole speech over 4 long years and fit all those memories into a 5-minute speech. So I guess the best place to start would be the beginning. I remember so vividly my first high school practice. I remember walking into the locker room and thinking, this is going to suck. As I sat down in the locker room, ironically right where my locker is now, and was so nervous to be there. But throughout the whole run, I had so many people run over to me and ask my name, so many so that I wish they would just stop. But the kindness and acceptance that they showed me is something that I try to emulate now as a senior. Throughout my freshman season, I slipped through the cracks, not saying much at all. But no matter how much I tried to hide, someone always ran up to me and started talking to me, which is something that I've always been grateful for.
My sophomore season, I decided that I wanted to make memories. I wanted to have a senior speech like the ones I heard my freshman year. Let's see. Oh, this is embarrassing. Luckily that year, I met an amazing runner who had decided to join his sophomore year. I had always made it a goal to stick on him and beat him. Unfortunately, he got way faster than me, and I think he could still beat me in a race. My junior year, however, my times weren't as well. My season is not one that I'm proud of. It felt like all the work I put in, all winter and all summer, hadn't meant a thing. But sitting down, writing my speech, I began to realize that the times aren't what I remember from last year, but all the fun I had from all the work I put in. I could lie and say I remember all the terrible times I have run throughout my time in cross country, but really, I don't. The things I remember are the good times I got to spend with my team and the miles that I spent with them. Even now, as someone who has run cross country since 7th grade, I can say confidently, I still don't like running. I bet that my teammates can vouch for me because all I do is complain. But regardless of how little I like running, I went to every practice I could because the guys, well, now not at the back room, but to the side of me, made it bearable. Throughout my time on this team, I have learned 2 big lessons. The first one is that simply by being consistent and going to practice, whether you want to or not, you are bettering yourself somehow. Be proud of how far you've come. Even if the times don't reflect the effort, you are better just because you did something you didn't want to do. The second lesson I learned is, and the most important lesson for myself, is to just open up and make new friends. I've made so many friends since my freshman year, but some of the ones I will miss the most in college are at the side of the room. The countless miles and countless hours we spent together are something that I'm really grateful for. So the biggest piece of advice I'm going to offer the underclassmen is to make friends with your teammates, because those guys are the ones you're going to spend the most time with. To finally wrap up my speech, I would like to offer some thank yous. I'd like to start with the coaches, AC, Coach D, and KG, all of which always had great advice, whether it was in race strategy, injury prevention, or race recovery. They are such an invaluable asset to our team and truly help make this team so great. Next, I would like to thank my personal coach, Chris. Even though we always focused on track, I attribute my success this season to the work I put in all winter with you. To follow, I would next like to thank my mom and my stepmom. They were always at a meet when they were able to and always took some awesome pictures. I still don't like any of those pictures, but the effort is always appreciated. Finally, as has been requested for many years, I would like to give a special thanks to my dad. He never missed a meet, and he never complained about having to wake up early for them. He never complained about picking me up or bringing me to practice. I'd like not to admit it, but I'm actually pretty glad he made me run cross country. So, Dad, thank you for making me stand up here today. I would say it was worth it. To finally end my speech, I would like to finish by saying, all our hard work here pays off. Don't let this season be your last, because even if your times don't make you happy, you'll look back one day and be glad you stuck with it, because I sure am. And then the final finish to my speech is a quote that I really enjoy. I like this one a lot. If you can't beat the fear, just do it afraid. Because obviously, if you're never gonna get over that fear, there's no better feeling than doing it while afraid.
My name is Max, and thank you for coming tonight. First off, I want to thank everyone who helped put this event together. I also want to thank all the parents who help us each year with various activities. A lot of stuff wouldn't be possible without them. The snacks, chocolate milk, setting up the tents, and donuts, so thank you. I'm very, very grateful for my time on this team. The experiences I've had and lessons I've learned have been invaluable. All the workouts, races, and long runs have shaped who I am as a runner and person. Having to grind through that last rep or last mile is a true test of mental resilience. And you know, I'd be lying if there weren't many, many times I thought about quitting, but I always had my teammates to fall back on. Every time I began to slow down or waver, I'd always have someone next to me encouraging me to keep going. It's such a supportive team, and I don't know how far I would have made it without them. So thank you. I also want to thank my teammates for all the memories they've given me over the years. The Frisbee Fridays, mileage run shenanigans, and early morning workouts are experiences that I'll never forget. The relationships I've made with everyone on the team are ones that I hope to have for a very long time, and they've also made my experience on the team unforgettable. We have 45 people on the team or so, but everyone is so tight. It makes the team feel so much smaller than it actually is. I've genuinely had so much fun on this team and will miss everyone. I also want to take a moment to thank AC. He does so much for the team, setting up those games in summer for workouts, keeping everyone involved no matter their level of speed, and being with us every race and run. None of this would be possible without him, and he's the reason my experience with this team has been so great. I also want to take a moment to thank Coach D and KG. Coach D is with us every run and always has post-run workouts ready to keep us healthy. KG is always at the meets with ready advice for the race and cramp cream to keep us from dying out there. I am very grateful to have them as coaches, and the team would not be the same without them. To wrap this up, I have a little bit of advice for the underclassmen. I would advise you guys to continue building relationships with others on the team, have fun, and work hard. Time flies, and you should enjoy all of it you have on this amazing team.
I was recently. Oh wait, can you guys hear me? Now? Now? Hello? Okay. I was recently reading a passage where a character asked the question, "What is more important, the journey or the destination?" And the other replied, "It's the company." I couldn't agree more. Nothing I have done in this sport would have been achieved without the support from my teammates, my coaches, and my family. From anything to driving me to and from practice, supporting me during meets, pushing me to be my best self, and picking me up when I was down. You all have meant so much to me over the past 4 years, and I want to thank you for that. Now, as I look back, I don't see all the accomplishments, championships, and awards, but instead, I see the friendship and memories. It's really weird how fast the past 4 years have gone by, and all the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors relish all the time you have left because it's not as much as you think. I can still remember when the seniors from my freshman year told me that this time would come much faster than I thought on senior night. It even feels like yesterday that it was the first day of practice, my freshman year, and I didn't know a lot of people, although I still decided to tell one of the seniors my name was Awesome, which I thought was funny, but it just wasn't. And to be honest, if I were to go back and change anything about the past 4 years with this team, I wouldn't change a thing. The lessons I've learned along the way will help me succeed in everything I do for the rest of my life. If I were to give any advice regarding cross country to all of you who won't graduate this year, it would be to stay consistent, like everybody else says, especially throughout the winter, because that is where the most improvement is made. And more importantly, though, to mentally prepare for anything that could go wrong during the season, because something always goes wrong at some point. You just have to be ready for it. On a further note, as I feel like most people know, I actually like running, and that makes the sport much more enjoyable for me. But when disregarding all that, I will miss everything about this program next year, especially this team. You all mean so much more to me than I think you will ever realize, and have been with me through my darkest and my happiest times. And if any of you guys ever need anything, I'm always here for you. To wrap this speech up, I want to finish off with 2 important details. The first, I have never lost and am undefeated against Sammy Sinkowski in debates during practice. And the second, which was an important part of this season and will be continued next year, I would like to pass the Digicam down to my man, OT. Here you go, brother. Take it? Oh, okay.
How's this? All right, perfect. I'm going to keep this short and sweet like I usually do each year. Parents, family, thank you so much for your continued support all throughout the year. I know this team wouldn't be possible to accomplish all the things we accomplish without all of your support. And boys and our seniors, thank you for your continued dedication and hard work for the program, as well as just being supportive of each other. And I think that's it. All right, thanks for coming out tonight.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming out tonight. First of all, I just wanted to thank all the parents again who put on this just magnificent event. It's terrific. I'd like everyone to give a round of applause for you. Because you guys really are the best group of parents. I see you with the towels, with the snacks, with everything right at the end of the race. Always there taking your kids to early morning practice and in the cold or who knows what kind of conditions, and you've been terrific. And then for the seniors right here, I'd like these guys did just give terrific speeches, and I'd like them to be acknowledged one by one as they stand up. First of all, Mr. Chase Henry. Here you go. Next, Mr. Grayson Forrest. Mr. Aiden McAlpine. The man who's known as Coos, Mr. Jacob Coosbell. Yeah. Mr. Owen Hareen, stand on up. Here we go. The man they call the Pickle Boy, Mr. Christian Peters. The man they call Drew, Mr. Drew Skolnick. Next, Trent Hoadley, stand on up. Our very own Super Ginger, the beloved Sammy Senkowski. Here we are. The man we know is Mr. TK, Thomas Cougar, stand on up. Okay. Part Travis Pastrana, part Tony Hawk, part Dave Waddle. Stand up. The guy they call Cart, Sam Carpenter. Next, Swanee, stand on up. Come on. And last but not least, our co-captain and just a fantastic all-around leader, cross-country star, and now the all-time VHS record holder at 3.05 miles, soon to be 3.1, Mr. Mason Noble. And now, the record is when people look back on this team is going to show, of course, that these guys were just an absolutely outstanding team. Multiple DAC, sectional, regional, and a semi-state championship, and incredible results. But that's not really what kind of matters. What matters is just kind of the memories and just kind of all of the great vibes that you guys left behind. Just kind of thinking about a professional runner of this generation who apparently is one of our favorite fans, Mr. Craig Ingalls. Just kind of feels like when you come in, you're just sitting in your RV with a guy with a mullet, and just chilling out and having fun. And that's kind of how it was. We still got one more step to do in terms of achieving our goal of getting top 5 in the state or getting on the podium. So I'd like you to send these guys off into the postseason with a good old Viking clap. So we'll stand on up, and I'm going to lead you through it. So those of you who are not initiated to the ways of the Icelandic football team, what we do is we'll go overhead and we'll say, hey, and we gradually speed it up. So you go really, really fast, and then we all cheer at the end. Can we do it? Yep, you all do it. All right. Thumbs up. Together. Say. Hey! 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 Hey!
think G mentioned a thank you to the Senior Night Banquet. If we can have those members stand up real quickly so we can acknowledge them. Senior Night Banquet, please stand up, committee members. Let's give them a round of applause. Obviously, you don't maybe realize this. There's a lot of planning and coordinating that goes on behind the scenes. So again, I know how many text messages. You probably can take a deep breath now that trying to find a place and back and forth and all the calls that you made and all that kind of stuff. So again, we appreciate what all those members did to make this a great night to honor these guys who, again, we want to show them our love and appreciation for what they've done over the last 2, 3, 4 years, depending on how long they've been on the team. And again, what they've meant to our program. And so again, we're glad to be able to do that tonight. And again, thank you to those committee members that made this possible. I want to echo what the coaches said and also thank these guys as well. As the coach, it's very humbling to have these guys, show up at practice and they do what I ask them to do, day in and day out. And it takes a level of trust and faith, I guess you could say in some ways, manner of speaking, that they have to kind of believe that what I asked them to do is going to pay off. And these guys have done a fantastic job about that the last 4 years. And that is hopefully a lesson that some of you younger guys will also take away, that these guys they've shown up every day, they put the work in, and again, I think you can kind of see the results, that those results kind of speak for themselves. One other thing I think that's important to note is a lot of times your team goes the way that your seniors go. And we've been really fortunate to have some success the last few years, and we have been having a great year this year, and that's by and large to the guys that are up here, the leaders, all right? The seniors, those are the guys that have been around the longest. They've kind of been through the most. They've got the experience, the miles, the practices, again, the time, all that kind of stuff. And that's something that you can't replace. It just kind of comes with experience, and again, as many of them mentioned, the consistency, the day in, the day out, all that kind of stuff. Many of them mentioned how quickly this day comes up, and you always think there's going to be more time, and then one day there isn't, and one day it's there. And so I think if our returning guys can kind of take anything away from tonight, it's what these guys are trying to mention about taking advantage of every day that you have, all right, to continue to improve and get better and to work hard and not letting a day pass you by. So again, I think our guys did a great job kind of passing on the lessons that they've learned. And hopefully, again, the returning guys feel inspired. I think, as Grayson mentioned, they're on the clock now, right? They're on the clock now. And again, like I said, we've been really fortunate. This has been a great group of guys that have been to work with over the last, again, 3-4 years, that type of thing. Thank you to our parents as well, as both the other coaches mentioned, for your support. Once again, it's very humbling to me as a coach that, this is your most valuable possession right here. I've got 4 kids myself, and the amount of trust and faith that you guys put into me as well, that means a lot to me as well. So thank you guys. Thank these guys. Thank you to you guys from me. Thank you to you all from me as well. Again, it's not just running; it's people. And I think the guys try to get that message across. It's the team. When you think about the amount of time that we spend together, and then you think about it in relation to the amount of time that the meets are, the meets are a very, very small part of that. And obviously that's kind of what we focus on, every week, and all the training is kind of geared toward that. But if you were to kind of do like a pie chart graph, the meet is actually just a very, very small percentage. And most of it is the day-to-day. Just being there, like they said, running, sharing some laughs, sharing some jokes, making some memories, having fun on the runs, at the practices. And many of them, again, I appreciate their honesty. Many of them say, what, running might not be my favorite thing. But at the end of the day, it's the team. And the team is the most important. And again, that's because of guys like these who take the lessons that they've learned from those guys before them and then try to do what they can with it and take it on to the next generation. So again, for you guys, again, from the bottom of all of our hearts as coaches, again, thank you guys for what you've done. We're so proud of you, and we're excited to see not only what happens the last month of our season, but what you guys do in the future. Again, your best days are still ahead of you. All right, so thank you to these guys. Let's have them, you guys seniors, stand up one more time. Let's give them all one last round of applause tonight.